Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Hello. Hold on. My headphones are being weird.
Okay.
Okay. I'm good.
Cool.
They were not listening to me. Ha. Get it? Ha. Oh, alright. Bye.
The end.
And that's the show.
Yeah. So.
Imagine.
We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
I forgot I was going to look at the notes and see what can we not talk about.
I mean, there's so much. I think that I can cut down my normal amount of gushing about Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I can go on forever about Jim Henson. So
yeah.
that'll help a little bit. Well, I'm sure I'll cut down on the length of the episode today because I'm in a bad mood.
Who isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to know if the M Peaches are in season now.
If the what?
The M Peaches.
Oh, yeah.
Are in season now.
I don't care right now. Like, everyone's freaking out. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. You all better be registered to vote, you fuckers. That's my right now. Like, that's my thing. I'm like, if you are talking about this at all, you better be fucking registered to vote. And you better vote. Because that's the part that drives me nuts. Stop waiting for someone else to come in and save you.
Nancy Pelosi. I don't even want to go down that path.
I mean, not on the show.
No.
But yeah.
No. All right. I'm going to do it old school style. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventure. We're here to talk about games and play music and make you feel sad and stuff. I'm Matt Peters.
Oh, wait. I missed this. I'm Lex Lutz, but I feel like I missed something. I'm not playing music?
Oh.
What?
But the making people feel sad part is fine.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. I'm just, I never agreed to the music part.
It was a hackneyed Scott Pilgrim reference, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love Kim Pines in that movie. I feel like she was probably the most altruistic character of the lot.
I've never seen the movie.
Okay. You haven't read the book?
I'm not against it. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah. I mean,
I did read the comics years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't remember if I read all of them, but I know I read them.
Yeah. So I mean, of what you've read, like, Kim seems to be the most, like, grounded person, you know, I would imagine, just because she just wants to play drums. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's her whole arc. She wants to play the drums. She's forced to be around her ex, Scott. But other than that, it's okay. Everything's fine. Yeah.
That's all good.
She doesn't fight. She doesn't do all kind of weird stuff to him. Just, she's around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That is the way to exist.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe make more of an impact than that. That's your call. Do whatever you gotta do.
That's right. So, let's get the important stuff out of the way. You can find us on lexandmattpod.com. We're on the Twitters. We're on the Instagrams. We're on Facebook. You can find links to all of that stuff on lexandmattpod.com. I mean, give us a follow on Instagram. We post funny shit there sometimes, so. Yeah.
We've both been super busy lately, so we've been like, make the post for the episode.
Yeah.
People know it's out. It's been tough.
I've discovered that when I get, like, stressed out, I tend to design t-shirts and stickers. So, you know.
Yeah, you do.
It's a bank error in your favor.
Yeah. I've noticed that as well. I just have been like, I'm going to knit things. That's how I relieve stress. So we go in different directions. Or I do I've talked about this before, the crossword app that just sends me to sleep within like 10 minutes. It's crazy.
Have I talked about my addiction to Picross before?
You've talked about games, but I don't remember that name.
Okay, so Picross is basically, it's like a, I guess the closest relative of it would be, what is it, like Sudoku or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
So basically you just use numerical clues to figure out where to fill in certain squares on a grid. And once you fill in all those squares correctly, the idea is that it makes like a pixel type of, pixelated picture.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And there are varying degrees of difficulty. But what's great about Picross is that there's a developer for the Switch named Jupiter. They come out with a new Picross game like every year. And it's got like dozens of puzzles.
Oh, so it's not it's not on the phone. It's on the Switch.
It's on the Switch. They have phone versions too. So the official name of that type of puzzle is a nonogram. Mm-hmm. So if you want to find like a free app on your phone, they're not as verbose as the Switch versions, but it'll scratch that itch, I think.
Yeah, playing Pandemic, which I haven't had time to play as much lately because so many papers, so much to read. But anyway, playing Pandemic made me go like, God damn, I love the Switch. Yeah. So I'll probably look into the Switch version, but that's cool. Yeah. Pandemic also, for a brief period of time there, kind of had a similar effect on me where I was like, oh, this is calming somehow. I don't know why. It's like I think it's the screens, man.
Yeah, I think when you find games that really just like get you in that groove.
Yeah.
Like with me and Tetris. Like I know I've talked about Tetris before.
Yes.
And folks, longtime listeners have probably seen me stream Tetris on here as well.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it calms and I don't, I do love reading for myself, but lately I've just been like, I don't want to read before I go to bed. I just want to go to, I just want to play this friggin' crossword puzzle and let it lull me to sleep.
Something that I've actually been playing lately, that I've been checking out for the past several days. Once this episode is lifted, or rather, once this episode is published, the embargo will be lifted.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, so it's a game.
We're airlifted out.
Yeah. It's oddly enough, it's for the Switch, but it's published by Microsoft Studios, which is just adorable, the relationship that Nintendo and Microsoft have right now. It's a game that's been out for the Xbox for a while called Ori and the Blind Forest, and this is the definitive edition of the game.
Okay.
So basically it's, you're in a forest, you're controlling these two characters. I don't want to give too much of it away, so I'm just
Isn't this like really dark looking?
It's not. Actually, game? I mean, I could see how from the screenshots it does look very dark, but it's actually got like two adorable main characters that, I mean, you'll fall in love with them right away.
I meant visually.
Okay.
Just like visually, isn't it dark? I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Yeah, this is not what I was thinking of, but I know what this is. Okay.
So one of the two main characters. Yeah, one of the two main characters' name is Ori. He looks kind of like Stitch, but like one of Stitch's cousins, almost.
Yeah, one of the other experiments.
Yeah, but there's a lot of action in here, and just, I've been enjoying it so far. I really want to sink my teeth into it when I get more time, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah.
Looks really cute.
So
this comes
out
that's interesting.
In a couple of days, so check it out.
Yeah, that's cool. You got that early access to it.
Word.
Yeah, so once I looked it up, I recognized it, but the name, I was thinking of a different game, that's, whatever, it doesn't matter.
I think games like this can flourish more on the Switch anyway. I think it was savvy of Microsoft to move it on over.
I agree. I think that certain games work really well on the Switch, and sometimes there's a game that's not on the Switch, and I'm just, why?
It's annoying.
Why isn't it on there?
It's annoying because it's like I have this great system that I can put on a TV or hold in my hands, and I have that choice. But then, of course, it's like, oh, it's on PlayStation. I have to be tethered to the television. Now, I'm spoiled. Yeah. I'm spoiled now with the Switch. It's just too good. I love it.
The Switch... Now, do you play... I play like 98% of the time I'm playing it handheld.
Okay.
What would you say your percentages of handheld versus playing it on, plugging in and playing on TV?
I'd say mine is 50-50, but I will say this in addition to that. I usually guilt myself into plugging into the TV because I want to see how it looks blown up on the big screen. Because I see something like Ori, and I'm like, okay, well, the graphics look great on here. And I'm thinking, well, maybe just because they're shrunk down or something.
Right.
But, something like Zelda, which I've been playing a lot of lately, too, over the past week. It looks great, both handheld and on the big screen, which is great. I love it. I said great too much. I'm going to stop now.
It's okay. It looks so freaking cute. That new Zelda.
It really is. Oh. And the amiibo is all like shiny, just like the design of the character in the game is. So it's kind of cool that it matches that way.
But is it actiony? I wonder if they have a demo up.
I doubt it. I feel like they trust that you've played enough Zelda at this point. I know that the older Zelda games really haven't been your jam. But
I'm the only person in the world who's only played one Zelda game and has played the one that's completely different and starting a new Zelda trend. So, yeah.
That's why I'm wary to recommend it, because I know that you like Breath of the Wild a lot. And
I do. I think I should just play Breath of the Wild
Breath of the Wild is a certain type of game. And that's cool, too. You could do, like, New Game Plus or whatever with the higher difficulty. Yeah. But, okay, so those Zelda games are a certain type of game. The top-down Zelda games are a completely different animal, but they're still fun, and they have all those different tropes that you like the sound effects and, Link not talking and all that fun stuff. The search for the Master Sword, it's all there. Yeah.
I always, it's one of those things I'm always like, oh, wait till it goes on sale or whatever. It's like, oh, wait, no, it's Nintendo. They'd never go on sale. Like, I want there's the one of the few games that I'm like, I don't want to pay this full price for it, but I do want this game is Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
Because I want to play like the tennis portion of it with the controller, and I just like tennis. So like that game would be fun. Yeah. The same with Mario Kart, where I'm like, oh, it's limited. Like you can only race with this, but I kind of want to have it. But then like every time, even if I got it used for some reason, it's still like $55.
Sure. Yeah. I feel like Nintendo wants to, I feel like the initial idea was to have like a sports game featuring Mario, where it would be like various sports all on one cartridge. That's how far back I'm thinking. Yeah. Like for the Super Nintendo or something like that. Yeah. But then they saw that there was a market to put all these different sports on their individual games, I mean, who in the world thought that Mario Tennis would catch on the way that it has? So many different iterations. I don't know if
it's that popular. Do you think?
It is. People go nuts over that. The only thing that I don't really hear people go nuts about is Mario Baseball, which is interesting. Because, that seems like one of the easiest games to translate to video games.
Oh my God, no. No? Oh, no. They're okay.
Well, the reason I say that is because
this is a whole different rabbit hole, but baseball games suck.
But people always go crazy every year. Show, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, the show. People go crazy for that. The
only one that's really done it right in like so many generations of games. It's such a struggle. And then it's that's another game that I don't want to play that on my TV. I want to play it on something like the Switch on the go.
Yeah.
And like that, so it's a PlayStation exclusive. Like the show is PlayStation.
What's funny?
So that's it. You're only getting baseball that way, really.
Yeah. But to go further down your rabbit hole with that, I remember one of the initial commercials for the Vita, which was just showing the guy playing, MLB, the show at home. Uh-huh. Oh, he's got to go to work. He checks his watch. He picks up the Vita on the way out, continues the same game. I have not met anyone who's actually done that type of gaming. Like ever.
You mean transferring the save files ever, or playing the Vita, because that's also valid.
Well, that too, but seamlessly like picking up the Vita and continuing the same game that you were playing on your console.
Definitely not. But I did have a Vita and I did play baseball on the Vita.
Yeah. I think I played it a little bit on there. Mostly I played that God of War. Like I was all about playing all the God of War games. And I think Katamari was on there. Oh no, that was the PSP.
I have some good memories of what I would love on the Vita. And I think we've talked about this before, but I've heard mixed things about their basketball games. So like a basketball game, a baseball game, and then like a skateboarding. Like those would be my sport, but maybe hockey too. Because I have liked hockey games in the past. But like, yeah, it's just sports games can be meh. I don't care about football at all. I don't care about soccer. Yeah. I know that's a thing.
Yeah, soccer's huge. When FIFA comes out, that's like second to Madden, I think, for EA.
Oh, I would 100%. It's higher. It's way higher than baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it has worldwide recognition, where baseball is American, really.
That's true.
I mean, you have it in Latin American countries. You have it in Japan. It's huge, but really, baseball is America's sport.
It's America's pastime.
Yeah.
Which always seemed derogatory. That statement always came off as derogatory to me. It's like you're just passing the time. Like it's not something you want to do. You're just trying to make the day go by faster, so you play some baseball.
It's something to do until you die.
Right.
Yeah. Why not?
You know, that's how I feel about watching baseball.
I do love baseball. I've struggled with baseball for a while, particularly the past 2 years, because my team sucks. We've talked about this. And so, but I can't quit them. So I just live in sadness and ignoring baseball. So it's like I have it in my life, but I don't. It's very sad.
You know what bugs me as an outsider about baseball is the announcers. Like they always seem like they're just kind of like nonplussed. Like they're just like, they all have that same type of tone, just kind of like the same way that airline pilots all deliver their, speeches the same way.
That's what.
Oh, we're out here in the field today,
though. And that's a part of the allure of baseball, though. It's calming.
Yeah.
It's strategy. It's not for everyone. And when people are like, they need to do this to speed up baseball, they need to do this, they need to do that, and it's usually like rules that other leagues have, like from the NFL or from the NBA or whatever. I'm like, if you want that, go watch that. Right. This is baseball.
Yeah.
Like, you're either in it or you're not.
I think you need to have Jesse the Body Ventura start calling up baseball games. Like, let me tell you something, Gorilla. You get out there on that field, you got to give it 110%, all right? You can't go out there with your Charleston Chew and think that you can hit a home run off the bat. No.
If you want... I'm of the opinion, if you want to make baseball like a really big fucking deal again, well, look at what just has happened with women's soccer and us being so intensely into it. Right. Start a women's baseball league.
There you go.
Straight up.
Yeah. I know women's softball, like once a year that becomes a thing on like
ESPN.
It's
college and it's not even in the Olympics anymore because of that. That's all bullshit. But yeah, I mean, it just is slowly chipping away at women's sports that is annoying to me. But I'm not, it's like saying, the WNBA is going to take over the NBA. No, of course, people are always going to be invested in the NBA, but the WNBA has been going strong for years. I think baseball needs the same thing. And I think it would help get a lot of young people into baseball just because they would tune in just for the interest of, like, especially young girls who want idols. Like, I'm sure there are young girls who, were not into racing, and then Danica Patrick starts racing, and they're like, wait, what? Like,
oh, yeah.
You do this? Yeah. So, I mean...
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that there would be value in just adding women to the pre-existing teams? In what? Baseball? Yeah, because it's not full contact. I mean, in ideal situations, it's not full contact, but... just get them out there pitching, hitting, outfield.
So I'm totally cool with that. Like, I'm cool with the idea of completely integrating women. Unfortunately, especially with like steroid use and the way that pitching, for example, goes on now. God, I'm probably boring the shit out of everyone, but they're pitching way harder than they should be. Like, their bodies are wearing out faster. This pitching style is destroying. How many of these guys are getting surgeries now? Earlier, and they're destroying their bodies.
I mean, what I do see when they watch it at work, the helmets have evolved now to cover more of the head, and pretty soon they're just going to be out there looking like stormtroopers at the plate because there's just so much mouth covered by the helmet now.
Yeah, they really have to, and they've done that in softball for a long time. But, that was girly, so whatever. I'm for it, but I do struggle with so two things. One, I think that it is difficult for us to compete at the same level, just physically. And two, I also worry about women going into those spaces, like, will they be safe in those environments? Will there be actual equality? Because we're seeing even when they're separate, like in women's soccer, they're not being paid the same. They're not getting the same respect. WNBA is the exact same thing. But that's like systemic issues that it's not like there's a fucking answer for it. There was a show that was on a couple of years ago. not even a couple, maybe just like not last year, maybe the year before. Pitch. It was called Pitch.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember
it was
that.
about the first woman going into the MLB, basically, as a pitcher.
Yeah.
And that was a very fascinating look at what that would be like. And
but it was on Fox,
it
so
was
it
on
got
Fox
canceled.
and they canceled it. Yeah. I still think there's a chance that show could come back.
Huh.
I don't think it's very likely, but I think it's possible with maybe with Disney. I don't know. Maybe that's a brand that they want to cultivate now. But yeah, I don't know. I would be for that, but it would. I also am for like separate, just because how many women are going to be able to break in, how difficult is it going to be, because like I just talked about, they're doing things physically that like, unless you're taking steroids, I don't know how. I mean, men have a hard time competing.
Yeah.
With these other men who are, jacked up on Adderall and I don't know, whatever. I mean, they test them, but these dudes still get caught. There's a lot of stuff with it. So, I mean,
a whole lot of stuff.
Same with like Lance Armstrong. He for years it was like, how is he doing it? And they're like, well, they're testing it. Well, he was still cheating the entire time. So,
right. Oh, that's how he was doing it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That will do it. Yes.
Yeah, I do think the MLB has tried to get a better reputation in the years since they had those controversies. But yeah, I don't know. It's almost as if sports is like a whole corporate construct that's not super healthy.
Right. That whole thing. And it's, basically brainwashed our generation to take sides with things that don't really matter.
No, I don't think our generation is as into sports as previous ones.
You don't think so?
No.
Huh.
Well, are we in the same generation?
Yes, we are in the same generation.
No, I'm serious. I don't know what the cutoff is.
I don't know, but I am a millennial. Like I'm right on.
Now I'm just looking it up
again. Now I'm on the cusp. I thought I was Generation X.
Well, this is why I was asking, because we're both on the cusp, just on the
opposite cusps.
Okay, let's find out. And this is all nonsense, but
it is.
I feel like this is. I don't know. Maybe it's the younger ones, the even younger than. Okay, 81 to 96. Yeah. So we are both, computer. We are both millennials.
There you go.
But, so maybe I'm thinking of, what is it now? Gen Z or whatever?
Yeah, they kind of just skipped Gen Z or Gen Y.
Yeah.
Like they tried to make that derogatory at first. Like they spelled it out.
Supposed to be Gen Y.
My
age.
I don't know.
But they changed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't think that they care as much about sports. Maybe, I don't know. I don't see as big of an interest with the youths.
No, you're right. No, I'm just thinking of like more like the older guys out there. They still care enough for everyone. So.
Well, what else can men socialize if they have any toxicity in them? What else can they do?
Man,
like, women can be into a lot of different things. Those things might not make them attractive to men, but they can be into, they can more easily be into geekier things or whatever. And it can be acceptable. Whereas men, I think it's a little bit more, now they'll be accused of being fake or whatever, but.
Yeah. I mean, I can only,
like, I think that men do have those issues of like, they have to be into sports. They have to be into.
I can only speak for myself.
Sneaks,
However, I know that I was ostracized quite a bit for not being into sports, for a certain time. Now it just seems like it's just the accepted thing. Like, you're either into it or you're not. Like there's a certain language that people are into it speak, and if you're not into it, then whatever. Like I think the millennial generation knows enough to get by, unless they're really into it, you know? Cause that's kind of my game plan too. Like I know enough to get by. I used to watch Sports Center just so I could have something to talk about at work. Then I stopped giving a fuck. You know?
That's funny. It's both funny and sad to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's
God, you have to watch a thing you don't care about.
I wouldn't even say it's sad in retrospect. I would say that it's just kind of like, all right, you know, you're trying to learn your environment. You're trying to blend in a little bit better. It's almost like an exercise in just camouflage, almost.
Well, I mean, women totally do that to, like, make guys interested in them. Some women. Not all, but some do. Like, they basically learn about sports and follow sports and get into sports.
Yeah.
Men are interested.
I mean, ideally, you know, if you're getting into something like that, then, you know, hopefully you begin to enjoy it. Like,
yeah. It's happened plenty of times. Yeah. I know plenty of women who that's happened to them, where they're like, I just started watching because he was watching, and now I'm like, I'm super into it, which I'm like, cool. Now you have a new hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, that's really, I mean, realistically, that's how most people get into their hobbies, because somebody that they're attracted to enjoys a certain thing, or somebody that they admire is into a certain thing.
Yeah.
And so they want to learn more about it. Just like, you know, I wouldn't say Dee is like crazy about pro wrestling now, but she'll tolerate it. You know, like there's certain storylines that she gets involved in. Of course, you know,
I won't.
No, I know, but it's like the beauty of it, for her and, for our friend Jonesy too, like they got into wrestling at almost exactly the right time, because this is a time in pro wrestling where women are the focus and not just there for eye candy or there as valets. And I mean, that's basically the same thing.
I don't give a shit about wrestling and don't really even pay attention to it. And I know that that's a thing right now. So that's pretty great. I am always a fan of that stuff.
And I mean, not even just like from that aspect, because I mean, it's not like, oh, you know, hey, you're a woman, you like women wrestling, obviously. No, it's like the guys aren't engaging in storylines that are as chauvinistic and shitty as they used to be. Like a little bit leaks in there every now and then. I mean, that's apparent with every form of media.
Right. That's cultural issues that we have to work on.
Exactly. You know, but we gloss over that because, you know, you kind of want to just, you want to hope for the best in some situations. So,
also, we still need entertainment. Like, it's exhausting.
It is. It really is.
Sometimes.
It really is. You know, when everybody's on board with a thing and you have a problem with it, you know that there's something like systematically wrong with it. Even though you know you're doing the right thing, sometimes you do kind of feel left out.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I message you things and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? That's what it immediately made me think of. But I'm like, all right. People need to have their things, whatever.
Or when I just give you like anecdotal things that are jokes at my job and I'm like the only one not laughing. Like, no, dude, that's pretty shitty. What are you doing?
You need a new job.
Oh man. Yeah. So, speaking of working on my toolbox, I should probably
new things.
Talk about the voiceover class. Now, everybody knows who listens to the show that I was pursuing this, and you encouraged me to do so, and I appreciate that. And a lot of the listeners, I hold
no blame, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of the listeners reached out, and I was touched that a couple of people actually reached out and said, "Oh, I thought you had already taken VO classes because you sounded like a professional." I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you very much." You know,
none of you fuckers said that to me. All right.
So, I'm taking a class at Acting Studio Chicago. Initially, I was going to work with Second City, but I decided to go with these folks after talking to some folks that are working in the voiceover field. So there's actually a professor there, or a teacher there. I don't know, an instructor. We'll go with that. Norm Boucher. He's currently working in the Chicago theater field. So, see, one of the good things about this class, I'm going to learn all the terminology, so I don't have to stutter my way through this conversation in the future. He's given me a lot.
You could say it all wrong, and I wouldn't know the difference. So just keep going.
So what's cool is he's actually in a play called Miracle, which was extended, which is about the Cubs World Series win. So bringing it back to baseball. Mm-hmm. So what I kind of got off on the wrong foot in the class because an email went out a couple of weeks ago saying, oh yeah, hey, we know we said the class started at noon, but because this show has been extended, we're going to push the class a little bit earlier to 10:30. I did not get that email. So I showed up at noon and I was the late one coming into class. I was like, oh my God, I'm that guy.
I don't like that. That is very annoying. Even if you send an email, that's a huge change. That's not 15 minutes or whatever. That's okay. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess, if you're working in the field and of course in this modern generation, they expect everybody to be monitoring their emails. So there's that.
Oh yeah. Anyway. I had to turn on notifications on my phone for classes.
Right.
I can't not do it.
Right. So I've learned my lesson. I put in the filters appropriately so I won't miss any further email. But the first class was great. Like already I feel like it's worth the time and effort because I learned some tips in there that I never would have learned on my own. He's a great instructor. He really gets it. He is helping everybody bring out the best in their own voices. So what we did in the first class, we did an exercise where we took a piece of copy. We took an old commercial and a 60-second spot for the radio, and we read it out loud. And he's got a mic set up and everything like that. And then we would listen back to it. And as we listened back, he would ask us, what did you think of that? And so we'd give our notes and then he'd give us his notes too. And of course we go back over a second lap and do it all over again. And since I came in late, I only got to do it once, unfortunately. But I was very attentive. Like when I went into this, I decided that my goal was I wanted to just absorb, Yeah. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I do this all the time. Not that I would do that in a normal circumstance, but I just wanted to put myself in the mindset of being a student and not feeling like, okay, I'm just picking up tips. I'm just doing this so I can get better. I really want to just learn as much as possible. I want to be a sponge. The class is very diverse too. There's people of every background, older than me, younger than me. So all walks of life. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see where we go over these next 7 weeks. Yeah. So 7 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. 3 hours every Saturday. That's going to be interesting.
It's both long and not that long. It'll go really fast.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. When you get into these classes, you go, what the fuck? I'm already in week 5 or whatever. What? Huh?
But the best thing is my teacher looks a little bit like Bruce Campbell, just a little bit.
Oh,
well, so it's cool. like you could have played his dad on Evil Dead if they hadn't got the $6 Million Man. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. That's fun. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see how far this can go. Our homework is great too because it's 2 things I've already done. He wants us to watch the movie In a World, and he wants us to watch the documentary I Know That Voice. Have you seen I Know That Voice?
No.
Okay.
I haven't.
Okay, so for those that aren't aware, I Know That Voice is a documentary done by John DiMaggio, who voices Bender on Futurama, Jake the Dog. And he goes around and talks to a lot of the voice actors in the industry and gets their story. And it's very cool. It's very cool. I like it a lot.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to watch it again just because I want an excuse to watch it anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
neat. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like it because I tried to message you about it, but you were busy. So I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a busy week, man.
No, I get
we're not even going down that path. Yeah. Let's take a moment to wish a couple of people a happy birthday before we go any farther.
We got another happy birthday week.
We got another happy birthday week. I think this is going to be a thing from now on.
No, it's not. Don't fucking request that.
Please send all of your requests to @LexandMatt on Twitter.
I thought you were about to just put my handle. You were like, @Lex. I'm like, fuck you. And I was like, no, that's not my handle. Okay, never mind.
So, first off, my little brother Mike. Happy birthday, Mike. Mike does a lot of artwork for all the various projects that I work on, and he's a great dude all around. Birth. Tomorrow, which is when this episode is going to be released, mark my words, Teresa, who's a big fan of the show, big supporter of the show, it's her birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday.
Tomorrow. To tomorrow.
To tomorrow. Yeah. To tomorrow. Yeah. Yes.
Happiest of birth to you, dear adventurer.
A very special observation of a man who we all know and love, Jim Henson. It's his birthday today as well. So yeah.
Well, it is. He's technically no longer alive, but he was birthed at one point.
He lives in all of our hearts and minds. Here's a fun fact about a Muppet, Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster has a British cousin named Biscuit Monster.
It's the same thing, but it's not in the name. That's weird. Okay, that's very weird.
So there's a whole spin-off to Sesame Street that I was unaware of that's only on BBC, and it's called...
Oh my god.
It's called like The Furry Arms or something like that, and it's about Elmo, Cookie Monster, and some other monsters running a hotel.
So Elmo is still Elmo.
Elmo's still Elmo.
Okay.
No, but Cookie Monster's there too.
Dirty.
No.
I'm here for it.
It's like that Sanford and Son spinoff with Grady.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the monsters, not all the monsters, but Elmo and Cookie Monster and some other British monsters are running a hotel.
Real monsters as well.
and Cookie Monster's British cousin, Biscuit Monster, comes to stay at the hotel one episode. And I'm like, oh my god.
Whenever I watch British Bake Off, which I need to watch this week's episode, I'm always like, man, they say things that are different, but it's supposed to be the same thing, and it freaks me out. Like crisps and biscuits and all of these things, and I'm like, that's not the thing that we call the thing.
That's not the word.
Language is weird.
My favorite thing that they say in the UK that I see on Top Gear is aluminium.
Aluminium, yeah. I still like glacier.
It's like aluminum, not fancy enough. Aluminium.
Yeah, I like glacier. I like glacier.
Glacier.
Yeah, I just like that. I like most British pronunciations and spelling. I like when they add the extra U.
Yes.
Like, why do you need a U in labor? Because I fucking need it. I don't care. Because it's there. What are you going to do about it? Color makes more sense, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like it. It makes my brain happy.
Exactly.
Very weird. I don't get it.
That's the Norbert in me. Mm-hmm. Is it Norbert or Dag? Which one? I don't know.
That's why I was like, I don't know, because I never read that. I remember those as a kid and looking at them being like, this is all adult stuff, and I don't know what's going on.
What do you think I'm talking about?
Isn't that a comic strip?
I'm talking about Angry Beavers.
No. What's the comic strip? What is that?
You're disagreeing
Dilbert.
with me.
That's Dilbert.
No, that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of Dilbert. I was like,
I was talking about Norbert, the Angry Beaver, and how he likes to overpronounce words.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
That makes me happy. That was my favorite thing about that show. That and the slap fights.
Years. I want to watch that one again.
Yeah. I was going to say it's going to be on Disney Plus, but nope, that's Nickelodeon.
God, yeah, that I've been doing that too with certain things where I'm like, oh, it's gonna. No, wait, no, that's a different. They don't own that yet. Like, probably will soon, but not yet.
Please welcome the new Disney princess, Optimus Prime. Transform and roll out.
Oh, I'd watch that.
I would too.
Sounds bad. I love it. Sounds terrible. I'm in.
Yeah.
I knew.
All right.
My new philosophy.
You got a message from somebody this week too.
Yeah. So our friend Connor messaged us. So Connor, he actually has a YouTube channel.
Yes.
That we're gonna plug. It's called Kicking It with Con. So it's kicking, no G at the end. It with that as like one word, and then con as in like con. Kahn. So that's his YouTube channel. If you want someone who's not a toxic dill hole to watch, It's an actual good person to watch YouTube videos of gaming. I know we have plenty of gamers out there. So go subscribe to his page. Go do that.
Check him out.
So he messaged us about wanting to talk about Batman. And there's so much Batman news this week that I felt like we could totally do this. And he also had a specific request. He wanted me to make you do a Bane impression.
That's crazy. I'm going to do that right now. It's appropriate, too, because D is currently playing Batman Arkham Knight.
This is the Batman's episode.
Yes. All right, let's see. I gotta cover up my mouth so I can do it just right.
That's what I was going to figure. Is it like a full thing? So you're covering your mouth. All right.
Adventurers, make sure to check out Kicking It with Khan on YouTube. If you don't, it will be bad for you.
That's all I got. Thanks for writing in, Connor.
Yeah, that was worth it.
That was worth it, yeah. So, all right, Batman news.
I was born in it. You merely adapted to darkness. I was born in darkness.
It almost sounds like he was trying to do a bad Sean Connery, you know?
That's what I hear every time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I'm glad he didn't ask me to do the other Bane, because that would have just been bad.
No, I assumed it was the Nolan Bane. Yeah. That's what I think of when people are like, "Do the Bane." Like if you're thinking of Bane, that's what I think now, because it was such a cultural thing.
It was. Like, personally, I prefer Luchador Bane, because I just like that look.
Yeah.
You know?
He sounded so much like Sean Connery now that you mentioned. And the Dragon, I remember thinking, I was like, this is just like that Dragon movie, where Sean Connery was like voicing the Dragon. Like,
poor Sean Connery. Poor Sean Connery. He went out on such a low note, man. I feel so bad for him. Between the Avengers, Steven Peele. What was the other one? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
But people liked the Dragon movie. I've never seen it, but people dug it.
I remember liking it as a kid and watching it a couple times or whatever, but I think I was just into dragons.
I mean, how can you not like talking dragons?
In retrospect, I liked dragons way more than I realized for a kid that was like, nah, whatever. Like, I didn't like the Lord of the Rings movies because they were boring, but I liked dragon stuff. Like, did you ever watch The Page Master?
No.
Oh my god, dude, that's
yeah.
I think I have that on Plex. Macaulay. That's a great Macaulay. It's underrated. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there was like dragon and shit in that one too.
We're gonna get back to Batman though. We're gonna talk about the Bat.
The Batmans. So I guess like it's the 80th anniversary of the Batmans.
That's great. There was a great Lego set that came out at San Diego Comic-Con this year that featured Lego Batman. It was like one of those little mini sets. It featured him perched on a rooftop with the bat signal in the background. It was like a little diorama. It's going for probably like $100 on eBay right now. So I don't have it, but it was nice.
Yeah, man, that gets to me. Like, I wanted that Friends set, and it's just that's not gonna happen.
Did you ever play Lego Batman 3?
No.
Specifically?
No,
okay.
I haven't played any. I really wasn't. I was kind of I was in a weird place when the Lego games came out when I was like, nah, I'm done with those. Like, I don't need that. So I haven't played a lot of the Lego games except for with my nephew.
I'm going to give you like a minute of why this Lego game is one of the best Lego games ever made.
And now this is, like you said, Lego Batman 3?
Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. So every iteration of Batman, whether it had a Lego or not, is in this game, right?
Okay.
Not only that, but it features cameos because Adam West was still alive at that point. Adam West is in it. All the theme songs. Yeah, from Beyond. He's the real Batman Beyond at this point.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh man. So so he's in it. He was delightful. You know how like in the Marvel Lego games you'd have to save Stan Lee from peril on occasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was filling that role. Yeah. Conan O'Brien was in it.
When was this game made?
Huh?
When was this game made?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It had to have been like
it's more recent.
Yeah, it was. It's the most recent Batman Lego game. It was the one before DC Supervillains.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So Conan O'Brien was in it. Duck Dodgers is in it. And yeah, right? That makes no sense. Weird. And who else? Kevin Smith. Yes, Kevin Smith was in it.
Of course.
And I can say for a fact, they made this game around the time that Tusk came out because his side mission is that he's filming a horror movie in the Batcave, but he needs somebody to dress up like a polar bear.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's him, and he's got a little hockey jersey on. It's really funny.
No, I haven't played that.
Yeah.
I played Dimensions. I still have Dimensions.
Yeah. That'll burn you out. I think that really burnt out a lot of Lego fans just because, it's so dense.
Yeah. I need to. I kind of want to revisit it, but then I'm like, man, why are you not on the Switch? About that.
I wish that they would have come out with some type of DLC a year after the release to just be okay, fuck all that Portal stuff. You can just pick whoever you want now. It's fine. Just give us $20 and you can pick anybody in the game. That'd have been cool.
Yeah, I mean, they should have done that because it was just crazy. The same with the Disney Infinity, which I also had fun with.
Yeah.
But, I guess those games couldn't make money. That mob. Right. The Amiibos seem to be going, though.
Yeah, but that's because it's got that, it's got that Nintendo backing. So it's
also,
absolutely...
they don't rely on it, and they don't overdo it, I don't think.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
And they work across other games, too. It's not just for that one specific game.
Right.
So that's cool. Even Skyrim, if you have a Zelda Amiibo, you can use it to unlock Zelda stuff in Skyrim, which is so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you can get the Link, the Hyrulean garb. You can get the what's called the Master Sword.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. Huh.
Yep.
I knew that it worked across other games with certain things like that, like little DLC would unlock or whatever, but I didn't realize that it was Skyrim related too. Huh.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that, but they did. So it's kind of cool.
Okay, back to the Batman. So we've got some rumors.
Yes.
You want to read what you brought to the table? I'll bring the one that I added.
Okay, so this is according to HollywoodReporter.com.
Usually pretty reliable.
Yeah, usually pretty reliable. This site's on the up and up. Jeffrey Wright, who you may know from Westworld and Boardwalk Empire, is being courted to play Commissioner Gordon in the upcoming Matt Reeves movie, The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman.
So this would officially mean that they are not bothering with any previous canon of the new. Because Simmons played Gordon, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
J.K. Simmons played Gordon in Justice League. So
Batman v Superman, I think, too, right?
Was he in there for a minute?
I think so.
Okay. I think I blocked most of that out. But
it's fine.
That's kind of cool. I'm excited. Jeffrey Wright is a great actor. He brings a lot of gravitas to the table.
Yeah. So, I mean, he is. I'm also just excited that it's going to piss people off.
I was going to say that too.
This would mean that Batgirl is also going to be black, more likely, or mixed.
See, that's the thing. People aren't realizing that they gave us this clue a long time ago because Rosario Dawson played Batgirl in Lego Batman. So they've been warming us up to this idea for quite some time. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but this isn't even the first instance of a character being changed. They do
not hesitate over at DC. That is one thing I will say is great about them with their casting. They're like, we don't give a shit. We're going to cast the best person for the part.
In the original Batman, 1989 Batman, Harvey Dent, played by Billy D. Williams.
Right. And the thing is, they do cast the best people. Like, the casting on their movies, with the exception of Jared Leto, has always been pretty damn stellar.
Yeah,
their casting is great. It's the scripts and the direction and stuff like that usually fails them, not the casting. Whoever is casting all of these movies is doing a fantastic job.
Absolutely. I don't blame Halle Berry for Catwoman at all.
No, that was not her fault.
I feel like in general, Halle Berry just has never given the type of script that she deserves. Because I feel like she can act. It's just whoever her manager is who's reading these scripts or whoever's making these decisions in her camp, really needs to get better at what they're doing.
Yeah. She probably should have fired some people.
I saw a movie
years ago.
I saw a movie she was in, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago, called Things We Lost in the Fire, with her and Benicio del Toro.
Oh, yeah, I remember that movie. I didn't see it, but I remember the trailers for it.
Yeah, I went to see it at the theater, and I really enjoyed it, and I think she did an excellent job.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did she win supporting actress?
I think she won Best Actress for Monsters Ball.
That's what I was trying to remember. If it was Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress. There is like a curse that's rumored to be in play on one of those.
Huh.
Where it's basically like, yeah, kind of like your career is kind of shot to shit. And I think it's supporting actress, where it's like you just don't really come back. And I think it's, I mean, they say it's a curse, but I think what it really is just like, sexism and stuff like that playing a part of like, you're not getting roles anymore because you're too old. I mean, that's changing. It's getting way better, but it's still not great.
No.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing. And it's also that it usually happens to younger women, and culturally overall, like male and female, we value youth. And it's kind of one of those things, it does like go all downhill from there. Fortunately.
Our last little trip down the rabbit hole here, then we'll get back to Batman. I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's something quite different, actually. The Oscar love curse. The Oscar love curse is a superstition that the woman who wins the Academy Award for Best Actress will have her boyfriend, fiance, or husband cheat on her or divorce her soon after.
That's not what I'm thinking of.
No, but that's interesting that's a thing. That is
very interesting. Yeah.
So
that's what happened to Sandra Bullock. I'm thinking of them now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to look into that later.
Oh, who was the... No, she didn't win one. Never mind.
Hilary Swank. Oh, no, Brie Larson. Oh.
I don't think there was cheating involved, but yeah, she did split with her fiance recently.
Yeah. Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates?
Yeah, she won for Misery in 91. Her boyfriend and later husband, Tony Campisi. We'll go with that. Oh, of course, Halle Berry and Eric Benet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Batman.
Men are trash. No, I'm just kidding.
Batmen are trash.
Batmen are trash. Oh my gosh. So, there's also a rumor. Casting rumor. We're getting a lot of casting rumors because I'm assuming they're going to start filming soon. Like, probably the beginning of next, right? The Batman movie?
Just to go back one step with the whole Jeffrey Wright thing, I love the fact that it's going to piss people off, but these are people who were already pissed off about Robert Pattinson. Pattinson. Thank you. They're the ones that were already pissed off about him getting the lead. So it's not like you can, re-boycott. You're already boycotted.
I'm trying to remember. It's just a couple of years ago, but as we've established in the timeline of the show, I have goldfish brain. Were people really angry about Lawrence Fishburne playing Perry White?
People lumped that in with, I think it was around the same time as Jimmy Olsen was cast in the Supergirl show.
Oh,
so people kind of lumped all that together. Like, look at this. Hollywood has taken away all the roles from the white guys. What about the average Joe?
What about the white man? What about Ginger Erasure?
What's next?
Yeah.
A White Shaft? Haha. That's original.
That would actually be kind of funny.
See, yeah, but it was funny when Donald Glover said it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would watch that.
So you were talking about this other rumor.
This other rumor is that Jonah Hill is in talks. Now, people once again are like over this casting, but you're forgetting that Jonah Hill's been nominated for 3 Oscars now.
Yeah, if you're just thinking of Jonah Hill from all the comedies he's been in, you're thinking of the wrong Jonah Hill. There's another Jonah Hill that you don't get to see.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight. Not that that's dependent on his acting, but he changes for parts.
He does.
He will put on weight. He will lose weight. He will do all of those classic actory things. So Collider is saying that, and that's a fairly reliable source, is saying that he will be playing the Riddler. That's what Collider is saying. But The Hollywood Reporter is saying he will either play the Penguin or the Riddler. I hope it's not the Penguin, because that's too on the nose. The Riddler is weird. First of all, I want to see the Riddler. Like, I've wanted to see the Riddler again for quite some time. I want to see him get it right, like, get that character right. I just think it's weird. And I know this is probably going to be like a long Halloween. We're going to get a lot of these guys. Some of it's going to be bigger than others.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Having him play the Riddler, yeah, I'm all for it.
I want them to clear the bench with Batman. I want to see
100%.
Every villain. If they do Long Halloween, I want every villain except for the Joker. Just everybody but Joker. Like, first of all, it'll be too close proximity.
Joker.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Joker for years.
They've done it to death. It's time to give the Joker a rest, especially after this solo film. You know, what other comic villain gets a solo film?
Yeah, so, I still have no interest in that movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting great reviews. I'll check it out. I'm not gonna be,
I don't even care. Like, I mean, I almost feel bad because everyone's freaking out, but I will say it's weirdly skewed towards men. Like, men are, like, very excited for this.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, all of these other superhero movies, I've seen excitement from women. And
it's funny. Like, it's funny too, because it's like dudes who are excited about it aren't the kind of dudes that would like this movie.
Yeah.
Traditionally, because it's being marketed as kind of like an art house film. For a movie to go to the...
You know what it is? That's why I was saying, like it's the Tarantino crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. That's a nice middle ground, because that's still art house, but it's still like, you know, I'm here for the gore and the boobs and the feet. Callback.
Yeah. Feet.
I'm here for all of it. Tarantino says, not me.
Say feet like they said Kit on Game of Thrones. Feet.
Feet?
Feet. Feet.
So would it be a feet beat?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this movie, I'm interested in seeing it just because, you know, I'm fascinated by Joaquin Phoenix. And the movie does look interesting to me.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm fascinated by him. What's
Say his name again?
Joaquin? What did I say?
You said Joaquin. How do you think his name is pronounced, Matt?
Is it Joaquin? I don't know. I always say it wrong. Now I'm all like,
Joaquin.
Whatever. It's that Joaquin. Guy. I'm fascinated by that guy.
I was like, I'm sorry. What the fuck? Back up.
The one who played Johnny Cash. That dude.
Joaquin.
Yeah, that one. So anyway, yeah, he's an interesting dude. You know?
Yeah, like, he is. Did you see he walked out of an interview?
Yeah, which is weird too, right? Violence. Like, how can you be so like delusional not to think? Like, what world do you live in that you think you're not going to get asked that question?
I saw an article earlier, and I added it to the notes, and I ended up deleting it because I didn't want to get heavy. But since we're on it, and I ended up bringing it up anyway. Yeah, so like the people who the Aurora shooting, which was the Dark Knight Rises screening. Yeah. Wait, no, was it Rises or was it?
I think it was just Dark Knight.
I don't remember which one, which is really bad.
There's so many shootings.
I was gonna say it's a sad example of how many shootings we have in this country. So the family members and stuff wrote basically to the studio, and they weren't calling for the film to be taken away or anything like that. They're not calling for censorship.
Right.
They were calling for raising awareness and donating to causes and everything. Because initially I was like, what are you doing here? We can't censor. We can't, my brain goes to the bad place. And really it was just about them saying we're worried about what this might do to certain minds. Unfortunately, that's a reality that we deal with. So if we could keep them from getting dangerous guns, that would be great. And that was basically what it was talking about. So if you see people being like, they're trying to stop this movie. No, they're not. They're trying to raise awareness, and they're using that movie to raise awareness because they lost people in a related Joker type movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I agree with you. Like, how can you think that they're not going to bring that up? That's the climate we're in.
This was Rises, by the way. It happened in 2012.
It was in Rises. Yeah, okay. It was
Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Because I remember I went to a midnight showing, and I got out of the theater and checking my phone and being like, what is going on? And it was very surreal and creepy and horrible.
Man. Just crazy shit.
That's actually, I can't remember. I think that's the only midnight showing I've ever done. Or since.
I think I did a midnight screening of Scott Pilgrim back in the day.
Man. Drinking when you said a midnight screaming, I was like, "Me too, bud." Wait, what are we talking about again? Do you also howl at the moon? Oh,
it was for me. It's the Cherry Limbeck. That's what made me all wacky tonight.
Yeah. For me, it's I've been drinking that strawberry water, whatever it's called.
The bubbly.
Yeah.
A little bit of bubbly.
Sparkling water.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. So.
Man. So there's a lot of Batman stuff going on.
Lots of Batman stuff. So, speaking of Batman-related characters, my Titans Omnibus books came in the mail, and boy, are they heavy. I mean, these are like tomes. It's like dictionary size. I mean, could you imagine growing up and you go to your school library and you pick up a book that size, not knowing what it is, just like, well, I'm bored, I'm going to look through this book, and it's just comics.
Oh, I would have been I didn't have a lot of comics. I had a lot of comic strips, like Calvin and Hobbes access in those, like what you're talking about. But beyond that, no, not really any comics. I had to go to like comic shops to get comics, really.
I mean, and I feel like comics need to be more normalized in libraries just to get kids in there. I think
that they're probably much better about it now. I mean, I don't know. I don't have kids now, but
I hope so. I hope so.
Bet that they have comics, stacked in those places because they know that's what kids love right now. They're growing up with it.
A few months ago, when I donated that big Lego movie set to my local library, because it was just obscene. I went to check out the comic section just to see what they had. And it was like one shelf, and it was all paperback, and it was all just kind of like, oh, here's the first volume of this. And
are you talking about like your public library or like school libraries?
Like, I'm talking public library.
Okay, yeah, because my public library is the same way, but they have like a really good digital program, and they have where you can they have floating books, so they'll send you books, and it'll go all throughout the county. So you can order, quote unquote, order books. But I'm saying that I also think that libraries at schools are probably doing a much better job for these kids.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
That's what I would guess that. Yeah. With what little they have to work with, they're trying to get kids in there and get kids involved, I hope. And I would guess that there's a lot of comic book related stories out there for them.
I'd love to work with a library or a school that's looking to improve their comic selection. Just to get like some good like keystones, some good like, classic
we'll
comics in there. That'd be cool. And if anybody knows a way for me to...
We'll send Preacher, we'll send... Saga? Oh my God.
All those classics.
All of Saga.
See, that's the thing too. People, when you recommend folks pick up Saga, don't just dry recommend that shit. Make sure they know.
I do not recommend Saga unless I know they fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, No,
I don't. I've recommended Why the Last Man to my brother, but I've never recommended Saga.
Right.
I've only given Saga to like one friend. She loved it. That's about it. Like, I just don't do it.
Why the Last Man has boobs, but not until much later. Saga, it's like
immediate a totally different
boobs.
Type of story.
Right. That too.
Right.
But I'm just saying like, oh, hey, let me look at the top 10 comics of the year and see what I should get for my little niece or nephew. Yeah. Oh, Saga. That looks interesting. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. Man, it is shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also shocking that someone can create something that's shocking, you know?
But if you're an adult, it's fun. It's a fun book.
Oh no, I love it.
Right.
I love it. What I literally was just texting my cousin the other day, and we were joking back and forth, and I sent her the image that I think I posted it. I know I posted it on Instagram at one point, my Instagram, not ours, but it's the where it was like, send me someone to fuck. And it's just it still makes me laugh. And then it's like, you old hag, you're gonna die alone. And I still think that it's so that book can be so dirty and hilarious and heartbreaking. It's just beautiful. I mean, there's a good chance it's gonna take over Why the Last Man for me when it's all said and done, but I can't make that
it's
call.
It's gotta stick that landing. Yeah, it's gotta stick that landing. And I'm glad they're taking their time. You know, it's on hiatus.
Do we know when it's coming back? Because I really want to read that book.
But I'm glad that they're not doing it until they burn out. You know, I'm glad it's like, okay.
100%. And I'm glad they have never even thought about switching artists.
Yeah.
You can't.
You need her. Just like
she does her own color work too.
What's up?
She does her own color work.
Oh, that's great. I love that. It's like Preacher. Like, you had to have the same artist for Preacher, for the main book.
And Why the Last Man was the same way, by the way. It was Pia Guerra. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but yeah, same artist throughout. You can't change. It always pisses me off because, you know, that was one of the big issues I had with The Walking Dead.
Yep.
I read that first volume and I'm like, this is amazing. And then I went to the second volume and I realized I didn't even like it that much. I was just super the artwork.
Right, because he drew a good zombie. He drew a mad zombie.
And I like that cartoony artwork.
Yeah, it was just kind of chunky.
And then Charlie Aldard, or I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but he's a great artist. Like, that's not taking anything away from him, but he's just more graphic and different. And it does fit the tone of the book very well.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so different to the point where it took a little while for me to catch up and figure out who certain characters were. Mm-hmm. You know? But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah.
We got one more little bit of news here, then we should probably...
You know what? We're going to save that little bit of news. We'll talk about your Doom Patrol stuff, because we're going to save that little bit of news, which is Michael Rosenbaum and Crisis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be our mini episode, guys.
Question mark? Yes.
You got to go patreon.com/Lex and Matt to get on that sweet, sweet mini episode action. We're going to save that for there.
It's worth it.
It's Lex on Lex. Wait, that sounded real. Never mind. Nope.
Too far. Too far. Doom Patrol. So I've gone on at length about how much I enjoyed that first season of Doom Patrol, about how this is my favorite version of Cyborg, about just everything about this show. Just hits all the right notes for me.
I didn't realize that it was your favorite version of Cyborg. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Like, this guy, I gotta figure out his name. Joy Von Wade. He fits the character so well. He gets the serious nature of him just perfectly. He gets the fun-loving nature of him perfectly.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to finally get that balance. You know, one of my biggest complaints about the DC characters, the black characters, is that they all just have that serious look on their face all the time. Like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm ex-military, ex-football player. You know, I'm ex-cop. I gotta represent.
I play football.
I play football.
I used to.
I'm a race car driver somehow. Yeah, just all that shit, you know? And it's always just, I'm very serious because of my past. It's like, well, I want people to have some fun sometimes. I like Cyborg on Teen Titans Go. Yeah. That's a little over the top, but I like that he can actually let loose. So this Cyborg, he's put in some very creative situations that kind of makes him break sometimes. Kind of like in a good place sort of way. Like, they know the stakes are high, but they still kind of like laugh at the situation. This show is just, it gets the tone just right for Doom Patrol. It's based on the classic comic, of course. Cyborg while not part of the comic book, he somehow fits in this group. And it works out so well for me. So,
cool.
DC sent over the Blu-ray set to review, which is coming out in October. So keep an eye out for that if you haven't already seen it on DC Universe. Even if you have, they have some bonus features on there that may make it worth your while as well. They have a gag reel. It's got some unusual gags on there that you'll enjoy. It's
Bunker, guys. You gotta have the Bunker copies.
Put it in your bunker. Alan Tudyk kicks ass as Mr. Nobody.
I feel bad asking this, but I haven't seen it, so I need to. When that Blu-ray comes out, I'm gonna get it. When that Blu-ray comes out. Is this the one with Brendan Fraser?
It is.
Oh,
he plays a Robot Man.
Robot Man.
Robot Man.
Oh, I love Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Diane Guerrero from from Orange is the New Black is in here as well. She played oh my goodness, what was her name?
I do not know, bud.
Marisa Ramos on Orange is the New Black. She was one of the girls that was like obsessed with makeup and stuff like that. Yeah.
Are you talking about her on Doom Patrol?
Well, no, on Doom Patrol she's Crazy Jane.
Okay.
But on Orange is the New Black she was one of the two girls who was like just crazy about makeup. Yeah. So she's great on here. She plays a character that has multiple personality disorder, and boy, she can just switch on a dime. Facial expressions.
I love that.
It's so good. Like I have so much respect for her as an actress after seeing her on here. I can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah, I need to see that. That's great.
Yeah. They'll be getting a season 2, I'm sure. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure too. It sounds like it's pretty well received.
Yeah. Yeah. So check that out when it's available. I highly recommend it.
When does it come out again?
It comes out in October. I gotta get the exact date correctly here. Bear with me a moment. And
full disclosure, it was given to us by DC for review. So
for review.
Yeah.
Provided by Warner Brothers Entertainment. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you gotta disclose that.
Right. According to Blu-ray.com, it comes out October 1st in 1 week.
Ooh, that's cool. So go pick it up October 1st, everyone. That's next Tuesday.
Right. Get it October 1st, and you might be encouraged to dress up as one of these characters for Halloween. You never know.
You never know. That was creepy.
It was. I'm like, creepy. All right.
It's okay.
So, yeah.
We're just going to go with
it. We're going to go with that. All right. So, on to the mini episode. We're going to go over there and record this. And thank you, folks, for listening to Lex and Matt's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah. Go to patreon.com/LexandMatt to hear more. Support our show. Subscribe, rate, review, all those things. Yeah. I think that's it.
Don't trust Batman from beyond the grave.
From beyond.
Be excellent to each other, everybody.
Bye.